So I heard a really awesome explanation that I wanted to share, and it was along the lines of a very important topic that runs throughout history. So it's how could people cover up these big, profound things and just to use examples, I'm not necessarily agreeing or disagreeing with any of them. So you take something like 9/11 and you say, well, how could a 9/11 have happened by how could that be an inside job? Or, kind of like that when the Maine blew up in the Havana Harbor, and that was an excuse to go to war, and just these little things. And people will say, well, how could they have kept those things secret if they had actually happened? Well, it's not complicated at all, really. It's that if you try to speak out against the people who control media outlets and publications, you'll be silenced and sometimes even murdered, you'll see. So a perfect example of this, and this is the best example, when I heard this it shocked me. I was like, whoa, because it's a perfect example of this is all of the mistreatment of children by the Roman Catholic Church. That's the greatest example that there is. People tried to speak out, people tried to come forward, and many people came out and said, like, hey, this is happening, and no one did anything about it. They just were like, oh no, this isn't true, or here's some money, just keep your mouth shut, take this $1 million and keep your mouth shut. So that's just the best example I heard. I was like, wow, that is so true. And it was just suppressed. It was easy to cover up because anybody who tried to voice an opinion or get their voice heard just never got put into the mainstream media or put on the television. I'm sure many books were written and everything, but if you're not supported, even in that aspect, like if Richard Dawkins writes a book, like he has enough connections that his voice is going to get out there. People are going to listen to him, right? Because he's a mainstream guy. He doesn't go against, the, as far as I know, I don't really know a lot about his politics, but I would imagine to be in his position, he couldn't speak out against nations and things like that, or else that would interfere with him broadcasting his different publications on books and everything. Kind of like, I was surprised when I found Noam Chomsky. I was like, how come people don't know more about this guy? I had never really heard too much about him. I knew the name. I know that's a very famous name. But the thing is they kind of keep him kind of far away on the edges, especially from mainstream media, because he's a profound guy and he actually speaks about important topics and important issues, and it doesn't serve the powers that be. I wanted to take so now kind of shifting gears, I wanted to explain a little bit about this movement with like this kind of like the homosexual agenda and the transgender movement and all of that. And I think that that's very interesting because of a lot of other things that are happening right now with artificial intelligence and cloning, and kind of like in the near future, maybe the possibilities of different medications and cures, and maybe even particular kinds of mergings between machines and humans, and seeing how far that can go, and what are the limits to artificial intelligence, and the extent of what's going to happen to the human race if we keep helping build machines that could possibly one day say like, well, this is and in their eyes this would be like the next step to evolution, right? But maybe the machines would decide like, hey, humans are a problem, kind of thing. And the reason I'm bringing that up in this light is because I feel like a lot of this kind of like gay agenda, transgendered agenda, is kind of a same way of what we're talking right now about propaganda, so we could add that in there too, into what we're explaining now, is that there's a lot that scientists are wanting to do that's kind of been suppressed because of the questions of morality surrounding these things. Like, is it okay to do this to a human embryo, and what's okay to do? And that's kind of like the big thing around the abortion issue too. It's like, what is okay to do to a human fetus, and the stem cell research and everything. So I kind of feel like it's a shaking up thing, like when the scripture speaks of an earthquake. An earthquake usually means a political upheaval. And I feel like this upheaval is kind of a way to cause the people's minds to kind of be shaken from like the solidarity of saying like, no, this is wrong. You know, it's wrong to destroy a human fetus, or it's wrong to and like, so like for gay people or transgendered people to do certain things, okay? And but it's also, I mean, and the only reason I'm isolating this issue is because of the way it's been put so far forward in the media. For example, and I want to clarify, like, if a husband sleeps around on his wife, that does not make him morally superior to like a homosexual or transvestite. You see, that's just the stuff that's really been promulgated in the media. So that's why I'm using that example. At the same time that this artificial intelligence and the different stem cell researches and cloning and everything that's going on. So I'm not trying to highlight a particular kind of sin, okay? I'm just using that as the example here. So people do come forward with issues, and people do come forward with, hey, this is why this is wrong, this is why this shouldn't happen. But over time, given enough time, their voices are kind of silenced, or it's just not picked up the same way that the different controversial issues are. And those controversial issues can kind of serve as distractions to other things that are currently happening. And I would say that a couple of those really important things right now would be the things that are happening in molecular biology, and things that are happening with technological innovations like human cloning, stem cell research, the possibilities of different kinds of nanotechnology, and the merging of animals or humans and machines, and, you know, like drones, things of that nature, and just how far they're trying to push those. So it's important just to, as far as being Christians, to kind of realize that there is going to be the world doing these things, and that just to be aware of what's happening, just because one day someone might have a question and they might need help, and if we aren't always prepared to give an answer for why we still have faith in Jesus in these times, I think that will kind of cause people to look for answers elsewhere. So if you're a Christian, or you still believe in Jesus, and you can't find the answers within the Christian community, that will cause you to want to go to other people who have their book sellings in mind, and they have their radio broadcast in mind, and they have paid advertisers, and they're making money off of ratings, and they're making money from all of these different avenues that you don't know about or understand. So I hope that this helps, and sorry if you can hear my daughter throwing a fit in there. So I just wanted to share this because it's just some of the kinds of things that I think about and that concern me. And I will see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye.